I am Rebecca Greenridge. I am the co-founder of Jore Consulting, and we are a uh, consulting group that helps people and organizations identify, interrupt, and alter the impact of white dominance.
Awesome. So you and I have kind of known each other for a little while. Tell me what sparked your interest and what was going on in your business that you felt like maybe you needed to get some outside help.
I don't know if I came on the same pathway that other people have come on, but I think you taught me, or I keep coming back to how you brought me on as a master class for how to bring people on as well, because you reached out to me. You somehow heard about our work. I'm not sure exactly how, and reached out and said, hey, if you want some help kind of getting the word out about what you do, I think it's great. Let me know. And I was like, yes, great. And you knew Jomo, and I think you guys went to middle school together.
Oh my God.
So there's some history there. And then you copied or sent me this video about if you want more clients, and we need more clients. And so then I said yes to that. And then we got on that 15-minute call. And in that 15-minute call, I feel like the key question you asked me was, what are your goals? What are your revenue goals? And I said, I don't know. And you very plainly said, then I can't help you. And I was like, wait, hold on a second. I was just like, I wanted help. But then you're like, so this is the help I'm offering you. What the hell, woman? Why don't you have any goals? And so then I spent the rest of that, we set our strategy call for the next day. And I had to spend some time that night, going, why don't I have any goals? Why don't I feel like I want to have goals here? What's my hang up about money? What's my hang up about doing business well? And I think it was just really some of those unhealthy patterns of ways that I had been taught to do business that I felt was really assimilated to white dominance, but also some of the narratives in the anti-racist community. And so, we got on the call the next day, and I felt like I had shifted quite a bit, going, okay, I do need to make some goals, and there are some things that I really need to learn. And I felt really like you had lit a fire under me, that weekend. I think we talked on a Friday or maybe a Thursday. That Saturday, I went through my entire website and changed all the prices, because you told me in that 45-minute call, here's what you need to be charging for what you're doing. It's way too low. And it was evidence that it was too low because we were really struggling to pay bills. And so it was like, we're giving away this work and we think it's really valuable, and we weren't charging for what we thought it was worth. So it just helped me just kind of have a different perspective. Light bulbs kind of came off for me, and they continue to. So I'm getting a lot out of it, but that was a lot.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. What do you think? So now it's, you've been in for, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. And what's your experience of, what do you think you've really gotten out of it? What's the biggest thing that comes to you that you've learned?
I think at this juncture, I think the biggest learning is probably 2 things. One, a mindset, and how much mindset has to do with our ability to operate business as well. And what I see over and over, and Jomo and I are in the habit now of kind of surfacing it and naming it, is when things kind of happen in life. Either something happens in business, or something happens with our kids, or with a bill that comes that we didn't expect, or something, and how our mindset kind of decreases and shifts, and we get really negative and have a hard time kind of pulling ourselves out of that. I think we're able to see that more clearly. We're able to see how that energy shift is happening in us more quickly, to name it and then to push out of it. So some of the work that you've had us do around our daily direction is, I come back to that. Anytime I feel that mindset shift, I go back and read it. It doesn't have to be just in the morning, but anytime I feel negatively impacted by something that has just happened. And I think the second thing is feeling like we're worth it, as business leaders, that we're worth growing, that we're worth being able to do better, that we're worth being able to charge what we're worth, that we're worth just around worth and around just around just value, like inherent value in people and in what they're wanting to create through the businesses that they have, and to move towards those things with a stronger intention. And so I think that that's probably the two things right now that are sticking out to me the most.
Awesome. What do you think is one of the most challenging things that you had to overcome just to get started?
Couple things. One, finding the money just to do it, and to believe again that we're worth doing something like this, to invest in ourselves, to have a business coach. Shit, we've never even done that ever. And we've been entrepreneurs. I mean, Jomo's been an entrepreneur for 20, 30 years. Well, longer, because he really was doing it from the time he was a teenager. But for me, really being an entrepreneur over the last 10 years, and we've never had a coach. So, kind of like just, we've been white knuckling it, trying to bear and get through. And now kind of going, wow, it'd be really nice to have a coach and somebody who can see something about ourselves that we need help seeing. And then I think the other thing for me too was, I had misunderstood, your willingness and how, like, and even I think gatekeep some of your agency to choose who you bring into the program, because I didn't feel worthy of that, and that you offered me this program that was a shorter term and for less money, but I didn't feel like I should access that, even though you were offering it, and so that's wrong, and it was a barrier for me. That took you that night just being like, what the hell? Like, why are you joining this?
Get in here.
Get in here. And so it's, again, just another place that I find my internalized white dominance of being like, shouldn't I pay a Black woman full price for what you're offering that's incredibly valuable, but that I don't have the money for, or allow you, the agency, to pick who you're offering those deals to. So that was another barrier that I had to deal with myself on.
Yeah. How has the community been for you?
That's really yummy. It's a really generous community. I remember the first couple of days, while I was on vacation, and then I came back, and there was, I think, 3 people who reached out to me in private message and were chatting about various pieces of, things that they've learned. And yeah, just offering me resources. I know just recently some of the struggles that I've been having, and people are willing to email me their process that they have already learned and grown from, and share. And sometimes I'm looking for examples, and so that's really helpful for me to see, like, oh, this is how I do that, because I can conceptualize things, but I need to see it in example form. And so I think that's really great about the community, about how they're willing to offer their own learning for other people to learn from. So
awesome.
I think it's great.
So last thing I always like to ask is, there's someone out there who's probably going to see this video, and maybe they've been struggling for a while, and maybe they've been in business, but they haven't had a coach, and they're wondering, like, do I really need this? Like, what would you say to that person?
I think the first thing I would say is you're worth it, because I think that is a thing that's getting in the way of a lot of people that I know, that just don't feel like we're worth that investment to do that. And I don't really know you can be really determined and driven and self-directed, but I can't think of like anybody really that I think about, that I look up to in those ways, that doesn't also have a coach. So you can be really powerful in your own right, and you can know where you're headed and things, and then a coach just comes along and can help you shift things, and can help you see your blind spots, or what we talk about a lot with our kids is, like, the people in your life that are trying to help keep you from stepping in the dog doo-doo, that just like you're walking straight towards it and you're focused, you're looking at the bird that's flying by or something, and they're just going to go, hey, look, that's right in front of you. Maybe try going this way. And so it doesn't mean that anything about your worth or your vision or how you've established your business, it's just going to help you get better.